carry on with the book. Now, did I set you homework? Did I tell you to decorate all of this stuff? I presume I did, because I haven't. So I'm going to do it now. I'll just do it really quick. So, what papers have I used? Let's have a look. Just grab these out. And I used that one. That one. And the stripy one, whichever that one is. Don't start coughing.
My drink went down the wrong way.
Yeah, that's what they all say.
My rhubarb.
Oh, the stripy one's on the back of it. Oh no, no, I've just hit that. Oh, my very technical way of keeping the thing out of the way is just going to pot. Right, okay, so I'm just going to quickly just decorate this up. So what have I got here? I know, Helen, you asked me to measure these and I completely forgot. I'm really sorry. So, will you stop coughing because you're making me nervous?
That drink's gone down funny.
2 inches is the quick answer. Well, yes, yep, absolutely, Michelle, there will. It'll be done in exactly the same way as all of the classes. It's just going to be, it's going to be in the other group. And it'll be on a Sunday night, 7th of, I've sold everybody it's the 7th. Yeah, Sunday the 7th of March. Right, okay. So, right, I just need to decorate this. So, let's see. 6 by, okay. Right, so evidently what I've done is I've cut it, these big bits are roughly 6 by 8. And these are 2 by 8, but slightly under because obviously I don't need to cut the whole 8 inches. So, oh God, hang on, my trimmer's over the other side of the room. Oh.
More importantly, you've got to stand up. Oh, Mel's appeared.
Has she? Right, so just under 8. And then just under 6. We still haven't sorted out my trimmer.
Oh. Where is it, the sheet?
I don't know.
Well, that's why we haven't done it. I'll give it you. You're going to cut it out. And 2. This will be just under 8 as well, won't it? Just under 8 and 2 and 2. Right, Helen, was it you that was asking about this? Has that made sense then? You've watched the way that I've cut it. I'm only doing it like this because there isn't loads and loads and loads of paper. There's no particular sort of like structural reason or anything for doing it like this. Got no room to put that down. Right, okay. Let's make sure this is the right way around. And then it says yes, so it's halfway down a 12 by 12, the main section.
Yeah, something like that. Right, glue.
Oh, is it?
it's 8 inches down. So if you've got a 12 by 12 piece, that's 7 7/8. I cut it that way, and then in half, so it's 6. Okay. Have I done this right? Yes. That's it. I'm all confused.
Oh, really? That's not good.
Oh no, that's on the wrong piece. No, that's right. That is right. I'm getting all confused here because that's on the opposite side, isn't it?
It's your video stopped, doesn't it?
No, yes. Just refresh it. Why is yours stopped as well?
No, just notice yours.
Oh.
What piece are we putting these on?
This is, right, so what I've got here, this is the piece that we did last week, okay? So this is the bit with the heart lock. If I turn the heart lock over, I've got this flap here. And this is going on the flap. On the inside of the flap at the moment, to be truthful. Yes, where are all our drunk Ellie's here?
Not down the pub. That's for sure.
No. Now there might not be any rude bits tonight on reflection. I don't think there's any need for them. Right, okay, so you've got this bit that we did last week. Then I'm going to open that up and it'll be like that. So now I'm just going to pop one of these on.
They're all doing it in silence tonight, aren't
I know, very quiet. Oh,
they? Because they're all drinking. Oh, Tracy Petering is just popping in.
hello Tracy.
Hello.
Right. Now these two bits that we've got left over, we might as well put that bit together now because, you know, we're going to lose the bits else. Well, I certainly will. We've got the pages, the other pages that we made that we haven't done anything with yet. We've got 2 that are just plain and we've got another one that's got that flap on. Now what I want here is one of the plain ones so it hasn't got any flaps on it. Okay?
No flaps.
No flaps. So I'm going to stick this on here like that. Don't need it. But I might as well do it so I don't lose my bits.
Good.
Make sure that's right. Yep.
Right, Daniel stopped on the way home from work to go and drink a bottle of vodka.
Oh no! Nobody's drinking.
No, they are.
Oh, they are.
That's
Why
what-
are they? Oh, okay.
I think Mel's drinking too.
Oh dear.
As is Sally.
We keep saying we're going to open that bottle of gin that we've got, but we never get round to it, do we?
No, we had today, did we?
I know.
If that happens. That's a thing.
Right, okay, so now what I've done is I've decorated up those 2 pages. So they're going to sit in my book like this, okay? So I've got my flappy bit. I've just decorated like that. And then those will go in the book like that. So what we need to do now is we need to make this rather pretty little bridge of hearts that goes in there, okay? So that's what we're going to do next. And then I'm going to show you how to make... Oh, I've stuck these on. But somewhere I haven't stuck them on. Here. I'm going to show you how to make these little heart things here, because these are really helpful for just sticking throughout your book. And also if I don't know if you're a planner girl or something like that, then they're really great to put in your planners as bookmarks. So I'll show you. They couldn't be easier. Right, so let's have a look at how this works. What we've got is we've got 4 large hearts, which have got 4 smaller hearts in between, and they're just glued on just to give a little bit of interest. It doesn't really do anything. It's attached to the book by these 2 half hearts here, but I found it easier, I found it moved better if I actually attached these to each other using small, I don't know if you can see this here, but I've used sort of like little bits of card that I've cut. And that's how I've attached them together, because it just gives it, in my opinion, a lot nicer movement than say, you can stick them together like that. But I didn't like that. I didn't feel that it gave you any sort of, you know, nice wibbly wobbly bits. And you've got to have wibbly wobbly bits on your flaps, haven't you? So that was my theory of that. So how did I do it? Right. I mentioned this before, and this book is all about templates, because there's a lot of pieces that kind of need to be the same. So grab some paper, just some piece of scrap paper, okay? Here's one I made earlier. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure this heart. So at its widest part, it's 2 inches wide, and at its longest part, it's about 3 3/4 inches. So what did I say, Mark?
Say him.
Oh, 3 3/4 inches lengthways.
Yeah.
It's all right, I've written it down now. By 2 that way. So what I'm going to do, because I do believe in making life easy for yourself. I don't see any point in making it difficult. So I'm just going to grab me at the trimmer because it's here. Thank you, dear.
Open it.
And I'm just going to cut a piece that is 2 inches by 3 3/4 inches. Okay?
2 inches by 2 inches.
Yeah. I'm going to grab a pencil. So, if this is half of a heart, this is the bottom here, obviously. And then let's see, how far down is that? That is, oh, I can't see. That is 1 inch down. So I'm just going to mark an inch there, and obviously I've got my corner there, okay? So the widest part of my heart is approximately 1 1/4 inches down there. So I'm going to measure 1 1/4 there, okay? So I know now that if I draw my heart, my half a heart, like that, and just tidy it up so it looks tidy, got a bit of a curve on it, that's the bottom part of my heart. Now, this top bit up here, I would say is probably about 1 inch, but let's just try. Where's the highest point? Is it 1 inch? So I'm going to measure 1 inch in there, and that's going to help me to draw my heart. So I'm going to draw that up to there. Am I on camera when I'm doing this? And now I'm going to curve that round like that.
So I've got half a heart shape, okay? It doesn't look like half a heart shape at the moment, but it absolutely will do when we come to cut it out. Okay.
That's a 2 by 3 3/4.
Yeah. So what I've done is I've measured 1 inch down there, 1 inch across there, and I've made 2 marks, and I've kind of joined them at a bit of a curve. Okay, so let me just do that at a bit of a curve because it looks nice.
Nice.
Yeah. And then I've measured down 1.25 inches here, and I've done a curve down there. Okay. So now I'm going to cut that out. Make sure that I've got a nice curve on it. And that is my template. So what I need to do now is cut out these hearts. I'll just knock that so I can't see what I'm doing. Okay, so I've done 2 in this peachy colour and 2 in the green. So let me just find my plain card so I can see some green all the way over there. I've got so much rubbish on this desk. So I've got the green and I want the peachy one. Oh, it's like pink. Peachy on its own. Is that it? Yeah. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a look. Yep, that'll fit just nicely. And what I'm going to do is, if you're using the same stuff as me, this is textured card, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold it, make sure that it's wide enough to fit my template on, which it is. And I'm just going to use my bone folder just to give myself a good crease. Okay, like that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay my template on top so that this part of the heart is on the fold, like that. Okay, so here's my template. Here's the fold in the card. And now I'm just going to hold this on. And I'm just going to cut round my template, okay? Now keep these off cuts because you'll be able to use those to make those little planner hearts that I told you about. So what I've got there is one of my hearts, and you can see it's heart shaped. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do another one. So I'm going to just make sure that I've got enough card. Just going to cut a piece off. Let's see, about that length. Fold it up, make sure that my template will fit on, which it will. Put my template on it again so that this part of the heart is at the fold, very important. And I'm going to cut round that so that my two sort of minty green hearts are identical in size. Now obviously if you've got a massive heart punch, use a heart punch. If you've got a cutting machine, I'm quite sure that you can scale it to the right size if that's what you want to do. Okay, so now I've got my two hearts that are the same size. And now I'm going to do the same out of the pinky one. Okay, so I folded that. Burnish that. I'm placing that part of the template up against the fold, and I'm going to cut round that heart. And I'm going to do the same again. Okay, so now I've got my 4 hearts that are the same shape. Okay, now I don't need this template as it stands anymore at that size, but I do need it to cut my yellow ones. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take my pencil, and I'm just going to draw a similar shape . But I'm going to leave about 1/4 inch. What are you doing, dear? You all right?
Yes, I'm fine.
Okay. Hey, Leo, are we going to get you crafting? It does, it's terrible. Crafting's loads of fun.
Yeah.
That's why your mum does it. Oh, an architect. Ah, well, got just the perfect paper for you then. Because I was thinking about this earlier. Somebody else was talking about architecture paper and cards and stuff. Graphic 45. Oh, what's it called? He already does craft. Good lad. What? Artisan design. Artisan design, is that what it's called? There is a really great architect type paper from Graphic 45. It's brilliant. Well, if you're going to be an architect, Leo, you'll find this book an absolute doddle, and you'll probably find better ways of doing it. And if so, please can you tell me? Right, so I've just modified my thingy, heart, and now I'm going to cut them 4 middle bits out of the yellow, if I can find it, which is doubtful. Okay. You've made 2 really cool flappy books. Excellent. And what sort of papers do you like to use, Leo? What's your favourite sort of to style? Do you like a lot of colour? Do you like not so much colour? I always thought my daughter would be an architect. Oh. Quite surprised she hasn't gone down that road. This is bright yellow. This isn't the one that I wanted. Let's hope I don't need that bright yellow for something else. Jungle. Oh, I've got some jungle papers that I'm about to make a book with. They're really cute. In fact, look. Here. Do you like these? I think they're really cool. Giraffes. Oops.
polar bears. Mel, hippos. Hippos, Mel. Aren't these cool? You'll have to do that one with your mum. I can't remember when that's going to be. April, I think. But they're so cool, those papers. I like those. Right, okay, so I've just cut a strip there for myself, which is about, I can't remember how big it is. It's about, it was about just over 3 inches. So let's just make sure that that fits on. Yeah, just about. Mel and I have a friend who really likes hippos.
Does he really like you?
Okay, so exactly the same process. I've put my template on the fold. And I'm going to cut around my template now to make 4 of these hearts. Okay, so there's 1. Keep all the bits because you can use them for those little hearts that I told you about earlier. Let's cut around that again. Oh, he's gone. I was just going to say, Helen, get him to put your books in the group so we can have a look. I'd love to see, especially if it's jungle related. It might give me some ideas of what to do with that pad, because I don't know. I haven't decided yet. So get him to... Oh, get him to put his books in the group. I want to see. Right, 2 more to go. Okay, right, 1 more. Ooh, that's tight. Probably should have measured that.
Yep.
Skin of my teeth. Okay, you're not going to need this template again now we've done those, so you can chuck that unless you want to keep it to make another book. Right, okay. So what I've got now is I've got my 4 yellow sort of inserty bits, and I've got my 4 big hearts. So what I'm going to do first of all, just to make it easy for myself, is I'm going to attach these hearts to, you know, to the middle of each one. Now I didn't do it, I just want them to flutter, if you see what I mean. So what I'm going to do is just put a little bit of glue on, and I'm just going to put it into the middle of the heart like that, okay? So you can see that it's the same shape, it's just... So it's not stuck, just bits of it are stuck, so we've still got a little bit of a flutter going on there. So just a little bit of glue on that fold, and then I'm attaching it to the hearts like that. Okay, and we're going to do that with all 4. I do, Ellie.
Later, dear.
Cal has that effect on kids. What, cheering them up?
Them.
Are there, just before I say this, are there any children around?
You've got to wait on for a minute now.
Right, just tell me. I'm guessing the kids aren't about before I say this. It's not going to be rude, it's just an observation.
They use too much glue.
They do. Right, okay. I refuse, point blank, refuse to work with kids. I have been asked many times to work with kids and I absolutely refuse. And the reason I refuse is because they use too much glue. What is the deal with using so much glue? I cannot handle it. It's like you just need a little bit. No. We've got to add the whole bottle. Right, anyway, so now what we're going to do is we're going to make the little bits that join our hearts together. Now I've said my piece. I'm really sorry, but I can't handle it. It really upsets me.
Axel doesn't like glue.
Oh, I knew I love Axel. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to cut some little strips about, let's just say, 1/4 of an inch. And it doesn't even matter how long they are, really.
Mel says, imagine someone getting glue everywhere.
Yes, Mel, like you do. Mel gets glue everywhere.
All in a scoreboard.
She does.
In the groove.
Yes. Yes. Okay, so what I've got here is I've just cut 2 little strips 1/4 of an inch wide of my sort of my pink and my green card. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut, it doesn't really matter how long, but let's just say about an inch. I'm just going to cut, so I'm going to have 1, 2, 3. It's going to be about 3 of each colour, roughly about an inch. Okay. So I've got these little things here, and I'm just going to fold them in half, like that. Okay, so that's just folded in half like that. Right? All right. Okay. There is. I can't see because I've lost my picture again. See what I mean, Ellie? It's a nightmare when you can't see. So I'm just folding them all in half like that. Okay. So I've got these nice little V-shaped pieces of card. They're the same with toppings on cakes. I don't have an issue with that, Noreen. Don't have an issue with that at all. You can put as much topping on the cake as you like. That's fine. Although, once my sister asked me to babysit my niece. I can't remember how she was. Probably about 6 or 7. She was of, a decent age. And we said that we were... My sister knew this, that we were going to make cakes. So, there we are, making cakes, making them from scratch, proper. And... we did what you always do. We lit the spoon, ate the mixture, right? My niece starts breaking out in hives, and I had to ring my sister to come round with her antihistamines because apparently she's allergic to uncooked egg whites. But nobody ever mentioned this to me. How was I supposed to know? Anyway. Right, so I've got my little bits here. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to glue them together so that they look like this, okay? So I'm going to put a little bit of glue on that one there. And I'm going to attach that like that. Okay. So it looks like that. It looks like a T shape. Storm come to help.
She's loitering.
Loitering with intent. Oh heck.
I'm waking up.
Oh no.
Right. So those are all stuck together now. Like that, okay? So we've got green on one side and pink on the other. What are we talking about? A whole pot of edible glitter on a few cupcakes. I don't have a problem with that. That sounds perfectly reasonable to me, Noreen. I think that's perfectly reasonable. Oh, you can't see what I'm doing. Right, okay, so what I've done is I've cut these little quarter of an inch strips of the pink and the green. I've folded them in half and I've stuck them together. So you've got this T shape, okay? So I've just stuck them together like that. Okay? Storm's all right. Well, she's not actually. She's following me everywhere. She doesn't let me out of her sight, does she? She's very, very clingy. Which is kind of nice for me because she's Loki's mum, and they've got an awful lot in common in terms of mannerisms. So it's kind of nice, really, in one way. But she's doing all right. She's not quite herself, but she's getting there. Right, okay, so what are we talking about now? Scoreboards. Are you talking about Bri? Mel's named her scoreboard Bri after a friend of ours. And what's Dan? Is Dan your stapler, Mel? Anyway, right, so are we good? We're all right with these little T's now. It all makes sense. Right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to attach these together. So if you can see here, what I've done is I've attached this T shape to the widest part of the heart. So I'm going to grab this, my little T. I'm going to pop a little bit of glue on that side. And I'm going to attach this to the right-hand side, because that's going to be that one. I'm going to attach this to the right-hand side at the widest part of my heart, like that. Okay? Labeler. Of course, the labeler's called Dan. All right. So now what I've got is I've got my. I don't think we need to know. No. All right. So can you see what I've done is I've attached that leg of the T to that side of the heart. So if I close that up now and pop a little bit of glue on this here. And put this heart, let's just make sure it...
What's the third leg for?
Well, I'll check. It just attaches it together. It's just, I think that it sits a lot easier together this way. So I've got my green heart now and I've popped that on top. So now that's my two hearts stuck together, okay? And I just think it sits a lot better like that than it does... You know, just attaching bits of heart together. So now I'm going to do exactly the same, but I'm going to do it the other way round. So I'm going to put some glue on the green leg. And I'm going to attach that to the widest part of the heart. Fold all these bits over.
Is the ... a reference to Mamma Mia?
I don't know, but I always think of Mamma Mia when you see ...
Yeah, and me.
Yeah. Okay, so now I'm going to attach that bit to there, lay that heart on top like that. Make sure it's all lined up. Oh, it's a little bit out size-wise, it doesn't really matter too much. Let's just move that up a bit. Okay. And now we're going to do exactly the same with the last one. So, oh no, pink first. So pink side. Attach that there. Line it up. Bit of glue on the green one. And attach that there like that. Okay. So now I've got my hearts that stick together like that, okay? And I just think they sit a lot easier because we've attached them, pardon me, I'm so sorry, with those legs. It just seems to me to fit so much better, okay? So now what I want to do is I want to attach it to my book. So I'm going to open up my page. I'm going to put some glue on this half of that heart, that pink heart, and I'm going to attach it to my page like that, okay? So it is relatively straight. Ish. Okay? So I'm just attaching it on that one half, okay? Just like that. So it's just attached there on that half, all right? So now what we've got to do is attach this half. So I'm going to close that up there. I'm going to put some glue on this green bit here. And I'm going to close, oh actually I'm not, I'm going to move it over so that that sits on the opposite page like that. Okay? Oh, I've lost my picture again. All right, so now when I close that up, just make sure, you might have to move this around a little. Make sure that it shuts properly. It's a little bit temperamental at the best of times. We shut that up there. I just wanted a little bit further, that's it. Just move it over a little bit. Okay, so it closes. And then when you open, you've got your hearts like that. I should have gone over and burnished that again. I didn't. I should have done. Okay? So what you can do now is decorate. You can see why I've put these on here, because I obviously did exactly the same last time I did this and didn't put that in the right place. So you can use some of your bits, you know, to decorate round your hearts. I've put a couple of photo mats here. These are 3x4 size photos that will go down the bottom here. But then I've made these little hearts which I've just clipped on there. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So I'm just going to put that to one side for a minute. And I'm going to grab, I've used punches, but you can make these in exactly the same way as we did with the template. So I've got some punches here. So I'm just going to use some of my spare card, and I'm going to punch out a few of these hearts out of my spare card. Okay, now I've got spare bits of pattern paper. So what I'm going to do, I know, is I'm just going to cut a couple of bits of pattern paper as well. Let's do it that way around, get some green in it.
Trace is confused. She doesn't know what the third leg's purpose is.
It hasn't got a purpose other than just to... The reason that I've attached the third leg is simply because of colour and the way that the things go together, so that you've got the same colour. I could have put green like between both of them, but it's just going to show, isn't it? It doesn't have a purpose particularly. It's just that pink heart has got the pink bit attached and the green bit has got the green bit attached. So it just looks nicer. That's the only reason for it, really. There's no specific reason for it. It's just I just think it just looks better. That's really the only reason. But you don't see it because it goes down the back. Okay, right. So these little heart clips that I said about. So I've got my background and I've got the, you know, the heart that I put on top. All I did was I popped a little bit of glue on the top of that heart like that, only on that bit. Oh, there's times I wish I had nails. And then I just attached it on like that, okay? And I'm going to do the same with these. So just a little bit of glue, just on that top lumpy bit of the heart. Ellie, don't confuse matters. Tracy and I are confused enough as it is. And I haven't even been drinking. I'm really hoping Tracy has been. Right, I'm going to do this one the other way around. I'll show you this without a punch in a minute. Okay. Right, so now what I've got is I've got my hearts, which have got the pattern paper on the top and then the what's it paper on the back, because now when that dries, I'll be able to just slip it on like that and it'll be like a bookmark. So these will be quite useful if you want to put them in your planners, or you can just literally just stick them like here. I'm going to show you. Here, I'm just going to use it for decoration. So I'm just going to put some glue on there and I'm just going to attach that as it is, and then I'll put some other bits on later. So that's dead easy, okay? And that's how you make these little bookmarks or whatever. Right, now, if you haven't got a punch, we're going to make another template, but we're going to do this a slightly different way. So this time I'm folding it in half, my paper, and I'm just going to cut a heart shape like that. Okay, so I've just cut half a heart. So if I open it up, I can decide whether or not I like the shape that it's given me, which I do quite. All right, so now all I have to do is get my card or whatever it is that I'm going to cut, and I've got a template. I can either draw around it or I can cut round it, whichever way is easier for me. So it doesn't matter that I haven't got a punch, because there's a way around that. Okay, and then obviously, oh, what's it doing? Hang on. I've really messed that up, but you get the idea. That's a bit of a wonky heart. Oh dear. Anyway, it's got character. Right. You're having a glass of chocolate and raspberry wine. Oh dear, that sounds wonderful. Last week's page is on the front. So, this is last week's page. When I turn it over, hold on. I just need to just get rid of something. It's right, it keeps popping up. And Ellie will tell you that it's a flipping nuisance. To try and keep things in shot. Right, there we go. So this is the front of the page, okay, and this is the bit that we did last week. Turn the page over and you've got that, and then we've got our hearts that come out, okay? So on my book, what I've done is I've just taken, I mean, obviously if you're using different papers, you know, I've just added some, you know, a little paper clip, and I've taken, you know, some of the cutter parts. There's a journaling spot here. I've added some of the die cut ephemera there. And then I open up my book, and I've added some other bits here just to decorate. These are some stickers. These are some of the hearts that we've just made. And then I've put my photo mats at the bottom. Now, this page that we did earlier, all that's got on is a photo mat. There's nothing more on that page. So that's got a photo mat. This is a 6x4 photo, and this is 2 3x2 photos, okay? But, you know, you can just put a 6x4 on, or 7x5, yeah, 7x5, that sort of thing. So we're not going to get a lot further tonight, because I'll do this bit. We can't do this bit until we've put the pages in the book. But what we can do tonight is decorate up these pages, okay? So I've got this one, and I've got the other flat page that I made earlier. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to add in, I don't know where these came from. No idea. Oh well. I'm just going to add in these pages here. So I did it in exactly the same way as the ones earlier. So if I just grab my trimmer, and I'm going to get my pattern paper. So I use the ticket paper, which is here. Oh, it looks like I cut that down slightly, because it needs to be just under 8 inches, just under. Oh, haven't done that very well. And then I'm going to cut this one right down the middle. Okay, so those are both sides of that page. Now I've used the hearts with the music notes, which I can't find. And once again, I've cut 2 inches. Let's cut the bottom bit off. So I'm going to cut that at just under 8. Keep these bits, because this is the sort of stuff that you can make those little hearts out of. Right, so this is the page that we did at the very beginning. Now I'm going to turn it over, and I'm going to add in these pieces. Now this one I did slightly differently, because I put these underneath so that I got the full benefit of the tickets. I mean, I'm just assuming, you know, that you're going to be using the same paper. If you're using different papers, this is not structural. It doesn't matter at all how you decorate these pages, as long as you decorate them. So it's far easier to decorate them and put the pages in the book than to put the pages in the book first and decorate afterwards, in my opinion. The only trouble with this paper is that you want to use both sides of it because it's just gorgeous.
Catherine's finished the layout, so I was cracking open a cider.
Oh, good idea.
I'm all for that.
Yep.
Big question.
I don't think we have we?
No.
Got gin.
I've got some apple juice.
Yeah. Okay, so that page is done, and now I'm going to do the opposite one. So make sure that when you're doing them, you have got them so that the openings are both, you know, the left-hand side, the opening needs to be on the right, and the right-hand side, the opening needs to be on the left. Okay, so let's add that in. So these are 2 inches wide and just under 8 inches. There was 7 7/8 of an inch actually, if I'm being truthful. Now, like I said, this is the very centre of the book, but we can't do anything with this until we've actually put it in our book. Okay, I think we've done quite well tonight. So that's going to be the very centre of our book, okay? So, right, we've done our hour. So next week what we're going to do is we'll have a look at this page. So we'll decorate that up first of all. And then we'll get on with our little pop-up gift with the hearts coming out. And then we've just got our waterfall to do. And then we'll do the waterfall one. That will be one of the last things, but we can put our pages in. So next week what I'd like to do is get on with this, and I'd also like to make our hinges for the book and get those in, so that the week after we can get our pages in. All right. Okay, so are we all happy? We all happy with what we're doing, and we know what we're doing, and it all kind of makes sense, really, vaguely. That would be novel. Okay.
Okay.
Cool. Right, so you I don't think I've got anything else to tell you. Apart from, if you're not doing anything tomorrow at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, GMT, if you pop along to my Paper Scissors story group, our lovely Ellie, who's on our Scrap Lab design team, will be doing a fancy version of a book I made quite a while ago now. But she's made it dead cool, so that you can keep it on your desk and it'll stand up and you can put lots of different photos in it. So do come and join us tomorrow. It'll be fun because Mark and I are going to do, you know, no, we're not getting drunk.
Oh.
We're going to be looking after the chat for Ellie.
Oh, yeah.
And I've never done that before, so it's going to be a disaster. No, Ellie won't be a disaster. Ellie will be brill. But the chat might be a little bit bad. Anyway, so yeah, if you're around tomorrow, do come and join us. 2 o'clock in Paper Scissors Story, and we'd love to have you, and I'm sure Ellie would love to have you. And we will otherwise see you next Friday at 7:30, and we look forward to it very much. If you get stuck, give me a shout. Always happy to help, you know that. Have a great weekend, everybody, and we will see you next week. Bye. Oh, that was my trimmer.
Oh.